Today I fucked up by getting my mom and my GF's mom to think we hated each other while we secretly dated. This is more of a we fucked up, but here's what's happened over the past 8 months. So my GF's mom and my mom worked together. They became close friends last year, and since then they've been trying to get her daughter and I, 19F and 19M, together. They made a few attempts at getting us to meet and it was annoying AF. All we kept hearing was how good we would be together. We never actually met each other until she was tricked into getting a job where I work. I had seen pictures of her, but she looked even better in person. After getting to know each other over the next 4 months, we realized we had a lot in common. Problem is we're both stubborn and didn't want to give them the satisfaction that they were right about us. So to repay them, we decided to pretend that we hated each other while secretly dating. If the relationship lasted a year, then we would tell them about us. We made up a story about an argument we had one day at work. After that we would just randomly talk shit about each other to our moms and then sit back and see what their reactions were. It was hilarious and made it easier for us to secretly date. But last week, we probably took the joke too far. My girlfriend was giving me some lines to say about her and we decided on, I wouldn't be the first guy from work that she slept with. When I told my mom this one, she told my GF's mom about it. It started an argument between the two of them about how I treat her daughter horribly. Of course my mom tried to defend me by saying she's heard all of the insults my girlfriend has said about me. 2 days ago we were told that they were no longer friends. We told them the truth about our relationship, but I guess it was too late because they said some pretty nasty stuff about each other. Now my GF and I feel awful for breaking up a good friendship. We should have been honest about our relationship from the start, especially with two people who would have been supportive of us. Too long did not read. Girlfriend and I didn't want our moms to know they were right about us being good for each other. We pretended that we hated each other while we secretly dated and it broke up their friendship. You're being played. Your moms are now dating and doing the exact same thing to you guys as revenge. So, I'm guessing neither are invited to the wedding? This is the sort of thing can only be resolved in a giant musical number involving a bunch of strangers. I'm sure there are others, but from all the movies I've seen this is the quickest. 2 days ago we were told that they were no longer friends. We told them the truth about our relationship, but I guess it was too late because they said some pretty nasty stuff about each other. Now my GF and I feel awful for breaking up a good friendship. We should have been honest about our relationship from the start, especially with two people who would have been supportive of us. Yeah, you definitely feed up, because it's pretty easy for people that are good friends to weaponize personal knowledge of each other, and when it comes to kids people will go scorched earth at times to defend them. I think it's incumbent upon you and your girlfriend to fix the situation if possible. Finally a real today I fucked up here lol. Man how about doing exactly what they did to you guys? Plan a secret dinner date between the four of you, a restaurant? Of course without your moms knowing what you've planned, and then explain everything. What are they gonna do when they finally see you guys together as they've imagined? Get up and run? That's what I would do at least. A year? That's way too long. That joke would have been funny for maybe a month, then it's just being mean. Today I fucked up by stealing what I thought was a pine cone. When I was really young as a child of 10 in primary school, a fun activity we used to indulge in was having groups of kids with designated locations on the playground called pine cone bases, where we'd collect as many pine cones as possible and stash them there at the location of choice. There were pine trees completely circling around the oval, so during the autumn the ground would become littered with them. We'd all collect as many as possible. When the season for pine cones passed, stealing pine cones from other bases and bringing them to your own was permitted, but you had to give it back if you were tagged. Most leaders would build diplomatic relationships with others so there would be peace. This did not always last and war would break out between the clans. My base was strategically picked where two fences met near sandwiched together. The neighboring house and the school itself. The pine cones would slip right down between the two fences and would be secure from any theft from other clans. Naturally, we reached the top. The base with the most pine cones was considered the pinnacle of all bases and its people among the elite. Hotels, and holiday houses, paled in comparison to the might of the master pine cone base. It demanded without question everyone's respect. My influence allowed me to pick what the special could be for the canteen lunch. It was always chicken tendies. One day as a school excursion, we went to the city aquarium with bingo charts and questionnaires which we had to solve by going to each point of interest consisting of octopi, coral, fish, sharks and other marine wildlife and activities. We were all split into groups of 5. I was in Team Sea Urchin. We didn't get to pick our names. To the power of n to the power of n. Entering one of the rooms containing many glass walls with beautiful wildlife swimming about behind them, there was a single tank in the center with the lid off. Just low enough for kids to see inside. Full of coral and bubbles, but there, right in my face and bobbing in the center, was the strangest, sleek and smoothest looking pine cone I've ever seen. It was beautiful, spiral in shape. My eyes must have flared in surprise and my mind began to rush, because before anyone had a chance to see me, I had picked it up out of the water and stuffed it into my backpack. Throughout the rest of the excursion, we continued to answer all the questions and spot the bingo charts with the fish we found. It turned out to not be a contest, but whether or not the students were engaged with the activity. No prizes were awarded. Eventually the excursion came to a conclusion and we all had to return to the bus. Everything seemed normal, though I was a slight bit giddy, far too excited to return to the playground. Once we returned to school, I proudly ran across the oval and placed my beautiful, unique pine cone in the center of the rest, right between the 2 fences where it was certainly safe. The moment the bell rung, we all went back to our classrooms and the teacher had yet to enter. He came later than usual. Upon coming through the door, he was red in the face, flustered as he leaned against the chalkboard. With a strain in his voice, he said, "Does anybody know anything about a missing shark egg from the aquarium today?" And #X200B. Me being me at the time, I pretended nothing of it happened, though eventually my beautiful centerpiece went missing. And #X200B. Too long did not read. I accidentally stole a shark egg from an aquarium thinking it was a pine cone, then added it to my base in the primary school playground as a centerpiece. My guy single-handedly made sharks extinct. Because I know I won't be the only one curious about this, because I'd never heard of a shark egg that looked like a pinecone. No, for a 10-year-old, I can see it now. The egg pic is just about 40% of the way down the article. My local aquarium has a bit where they talk about the size of a sea turtle's brain and how it loves jellyfish and the ecological impact of plastic bags being mistaken as jellyfish. At first, you're like, "Ha, stupid turtle." Then they pull out a container with what looks like a jellyfish, but it's only a plastic bag. Also, have seen bags while scuba diving that look enough like jellyfish that I've avoided them. So eloquently told. Thanks for the raucous laughter and thank you for sharing. I was today years old when I learned what shark eggs look like. The whole time I was reading this I thought, that's a sex toy, right? Why is no one in the comments mentioning that? This must be some new humor and everyone is just waiting to say whoosh. Then I googled it, shark eggs, not sex toys. It was piles of grass in my school, no idea why. Today I fucked up by looking at my mom's social media. For context, my mom, 52, and I, 21F, are very close and both have a very sarcastic sort of humor. She is also tech-friendly and has social medias like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook etc. She moved away to another country after getting a divorce while I am studying in my home country and living with my brother. I was never close to my stepfather and he doesn't live with us. Months ago my mom sent me a picture of a pedicure she got and I told her that it looked really cute. The conversation changed to how she wants to spoil herself after her divorce but she's low on spending money since moving. This is where I fucked up. I jokingly said that she should sell feet pics. She laughed and that's where the conversation ended. A month later my mom sent me another picture of her pedicure. She told me that she was interested in selling feet pics. I thought she was joking. And I laughed and said go for it and she laughed too. Then a week later she sent me a screenshot of an older man on Instagram asking for feet pics. I asked her what she was doing and she said she took my idea so that she could get extra spending money. I told her I was uncomfortable with her telling me this and she said it'll be her secret and won't bring it up anymore. And she hasn't, but today I went to search her up on TikTok. She has gained so many followers on the platform I was mortified. I checked in her bio and there was a link to her Instagram. All her recent photos are just her feet and I felt so grossed out and uncomfortable, but the worst part is when I scrolled down I saw a picture of my portrait. I painted it, with a caption saying that she's so proud of me. She has hundreds of pictures of her feet and there in the middle is a picture of my face. I felt so grossed out. I did ask her to take it down. She apologized, took it down and said she just wanted to show of her daughter's art skills. Too long did not read. After joking about her selling feet pictures to my mother, she actually did it. I checked her social medias and a picture of my face was in the middle of all of her feet pictures. She means well. She has a good soul. Gotta say, this story's kinda cute and well, horrific is too harsh a word, but odd doesn't cut it either. It's nice you have such a good relationship with your mom that she's taking some of your advice, and taking your feelings into consideration. I do hope that she's able to actually make a buck or two off that, for better or worse. Damn, that's tough. But I'll need link as a proof that this is a true story. Shit. If I could make money selling pics of my hairy toes, feet, I'd 100% do it. Good for her though. If she's happy to do it, why not? She could keep private and feet stuff on separate profiles though. She's proud of you. Ask her to put your paintings on her refrigerator door next to her feet pics. Today I fucked up by having my 8-year-old tattoo used to imply I'm the Chicago mass shooter. So last night was going normally, I'm on vacation with my boyfriend chilling out, when I start getting random username mentions and chat requests. I'm not even a super active user, so I was a little surprised. My surprise level went from a little to holy shit when I found out why I was coming up in topics everywhere all of a sudden. A post I had made 8 years ago, showing off my little tattoo, was being used by conspiracy theorists at first, then alt-right Twitter, and other places, on Reddit and elsewhere. Turns out when you search socialist tattoo on Google Images, my tattoo is high in the results for whatever algorithmic reason, so the loons who started this must have found it that way. But they seem to not consider that I'm a real human being, not just a random propaganda piece for them to use. So, now instead of enjoying my time together with my boyfriend on the holiday, people are out there thinking my chunky arm belongs to this little worm, who besides being like 14 when I got my tattoo also definitely doesn't look like me. Like a commenter said, couldn't they have even cropped out his full beard in the tattoo picture? The lengths people are going to prove their side right in politics today is scary. I'm getting messages from fact-checkers of major news sites to prove that indeed I'm not a mass murderer instead of making the stew I had planned for dinner. Too long did not read. I definitely fucked up by posting a picture 8 years ago of my tattoo. A picture that is now being used by conspiracy theorists to connect me with a mass shooter and will probably haunt me for a while. P.S. Sorry if I got the formatting wrong at all. Like I said, I don't actually make many posts. Literally just was checking out your profile for this reason. Fuck that guy. Fuck these conspiracy theorists, and I hope this doesn't cause you a world of shit from those loons. Look, I fully believe that you aren't in fact a mass shooter, but have you considered the possibility that your arm acted on its own? Do you have photographic proof of its whereabouts at the time the shootings happened? An affidavit from the tattoo artist swearing that they did not use the ashes of Trotsky and burned pages of Das Kapital in the ink, giving your arm the ability to detach itself from your body to independently perform acts of evil, seeking vengeance against the trappings of capitalism at every turn? How well would you say it could blend into the background of, say, a grassy knoll? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm just asking questions here. And #X200B. Really sorry you have to deal with this absolute madness. This is less of a you fucked up and more like a everyone else fucked up. Wow, that's you. I saw this image come up a few times when looking up info on Cremo. Sorry for your sudden notoriety. What annoys me, even more, is how these conspiracy theorists throw the term socialist loosely like that. It's the equivalent of calling every damn Pokemon Pikachu. Like, seriously, social democracy, democratic socialism, communism, Marxism, etc. are not even close to being similar to one another. And obviously, in my opinion, social democracy is best because it combines the best of capitalism and the best of socialism. Post a picture of the stew and see what their reactions are.